Hey, so welcome to an overview of what Horse Show for Windows can do for you to run successful horse shows. This main screen has all of the basic information that you will work with as you're running your shows. Going down through the top, shows allows you to add your show to the system. We have a wizard as you're adding a new show that people can step through to make sure that they have all of the information that they need. They will choose the type of shows. They will start getting basic information of it and inputting the data. We're going to go ahead and cancel that and head out to some of the other features. You can obviously edit after you've built your show, adding additional classes, additional fees, updating fees, judges, any additional information, tie-breaking things that you can add. We will get further into the specifics of creating the shows and all the features of show setup in a different video. Select a different working show allows you to choose the show that you're going to be doing entries, results, and reporting on. The currently selected show is listed on the main screen as you first select one. Entries allows you to do them by back number and by class. Back number wise, you key in a back number, add a horse, add your exhibitor, and all of the classes that are listed underneath there. These features here gives you the ability to add new classes, change information about this entry, horse-wise, responsible party, who's getting paid back on this class, exhibitor information, maybe you need to update their AQHA number, the relationship between the horse and the owner, and then status of whether this is an active, scratching, those kinds of things. You can scratch, delete, update, and additionally change the exhibitor and find the classes that are listed under a different exhibitor. All charges are held through this screen. You can add or remove any individual charges. You can generate PDFs. You can sync up with the tracker for payments via credit card. You can create statements, recalculate, lots of other features with your statements. Validation allows you to verify that horses and exhibitors are actually eligible for the specific classes. We'll talk more about that when we pop into the classes screen. Entry-wise, you can also go to a class in particular and add or edit additional entries. If you need to change the exhibitor, you can go in here and update the information on a particular horse, rider, payee, scratch horses as necessary. Results and scoring is where you will go in to be inputting all of the results for your individual classes. This class is a particularly scored classes. You can either manually key scores in or use the judging tablets to have the scribes and or judges enter the results directly from the arena. You have lots of options while you're here as well, collecting the results individually, setting your judges up, viewing the standings after the class has been completed under each individual judge. You can double click and see the information here so that they can be announced. Paybacks, verifications, all sorts of things can be done on the class in Familiar. I'm going to choose also a ranked class. These are listed individually, and you would put in the entries. We can find another class to look at that shows ranked classes versus scored. These are all the entries in the class. You would key in the results from the judges. Again, tablets can be utilized to gather results from the arena. Our list of classes allows you to see all of the different options that you can set up for the individual classes. The system comes loaded with many of the associations that we currently work with and all of the restrictions and whatnot that each class requires. The division, the type of scoring method, ranked or scored are our two most popular. We also do timed and jumping, which is a mixture of timed and false. The discipline allows the ability to show groupings of classes based on the same type of discipline they are. A lot of this information comes from the National Association that the class itself is approved by, and then a lot of this then gives further validation to the class. So as you do entries to the class, it's checking things like, in this case, the age of the exhibitor. If it is between 50 and 99, then they're good. If not, you would get a message popping up that the age of this exhibitor is not eligible for this particular class. You can add fees, update the information, gives you lots of flexibility. Our people screen, this is a list of every single person, whether it is an exhibitor, an owner, a trainer, a breeder, a judge in the entire database. You have lots of data that you can be updating and inputting. When we do entries from Horse Show Tracker, these automatically come down. HST name is showing that this information came down from Horse Show Tracker. We have a similar screen for horses. Again, basic information about the horse. We all can keep track of the type of horse that it is, the associations that they have, sire and dam, breeders, trainers. The responsible party is the person who's paying the bill, and additional information that might come down in from Tracker or just that have been input here. Paybacks and checks. The system allows you to generate results and pay back money towards the classes. This functionality here gives you the ability to set those things up and build out the reports that you need to generate and write your checks. It has a full financial feature to allow check printing as well as follow up with additional information on the checks that have already been printed. Different associations also require different reporting based on the paybacks that you have, and we generate those reports that are necessary. The system has a full-blown financial setup, very detailed in accounting, a lot of flexibility for the user to create their own fee types. This lists any and all fees that you might want to include. You have the flexibility to set them up as a horse fee, a class exhibitor fee, a lot of different flexibilities that give you financial reporting at the end of the show. Our models systems allow you to, again, be very generic in the way that your specific show runs. You can have as many points models or payout models as you prefer. You get to be able to set, based on how many entries are in the class, how many points are awarded. Similarly, the payout models, based on the number of horses that are in the class, how you would pay. Percent-wise, there's also the ability to pay by dollar amounts if you are only paying back a certain fixed dollar amount per placing. Our award section is fairly powerful. All around standings, we support these national associations. They basically are set up based on the categories that each class is listed under, generates all of the results from the show, and then shows you the eligibility based on that. Our circuit awards high points is something that is utilized very dramatically by all our shows. As you can see, when you pop in on the individual classes, we have lots of options. Everybody does their circuit awards a little bit differently. We start out with the model that we're using, where we were just created a points model. You can choose it by the back number, by the exhibitor only, by the horse only. You can roll it up under more than one show across the season, or just the shows that you're currently working with in the selected show. We can run it by detail, by summary. There's a lot of restrictions by the age of the horse, the rider, the sex of the horse, the sex of the rider. Lots of different options for every show to set up their circuit awards and high points exactly the way they prefer them. The other option under high points is also grouping of lists of classes in a list yourself. So you can create a list that you prefer. We're going to roll all of these classes up, and again, using similar restrictions or allowances, you can generate awards based on a grouping of classes as opposed to an individual class. Under the reports menu, you can see we have many reports that give you the information that you need to be successful in your show. Error reports goes back to the validation. If your age was inappropriate, if your sex was inappropriate for the class, if your eligibility on a novice or level class is not available, the error reports would show you that so that you can update that information before it gets to the National Association and they disqualify a horse. Cross-reference reports allows you to pull up information on everybody that's in the show, whether it's an exhibitor, a responsible party, an owner, the horse itself, and then you can cross-reference those if somebody comes into the office and says, I don't know the name of the horse, but I do know the exhibitor. We've got ways for you to get around that. All of these reports give you the ability to validate the show as you're building it, and as well as validate the information before you send to the National Association with your results and final information. We do also allow the ability to print judges' cards from the system generically or for the specific associations that we support. We can print basic cards where they're writing out just the back numbers that have been ranked for this class, but also score sheets for versatility, stock horse, AQHA, NRHA, NRCHA. Those have individual score sheets. We can print maneuvers and whatnot on them, as well as back numbers for the classes. Numerous reports to get the job done. Similarly, on our utilities menu, we have a lot of information that gives you the ability to generate the information that you need for the different associations. In the maintain associations area, you can create your own associations. They do come pre-built with the ones that we nationally work with, and you can create your own. We do create files for the listed associations so that when your show is complete, you can send them the information and results in the format in which they are very specifically requiring. You have the ability to duplicate your classes, combine your classes, generate back numbers. There's lots of different functionalities that Horse Show for Windows allows you to do, maintaining your patterns for your score sheets, and just general cleanup and recalcing of any functionality. And that's the basic overview of what Horse Show for Windows can do for you. We'll have additional videos under specific areas to give you more information and delve deeper into each of those screens.